Hello dear student, this is Devang Shah from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. We have been learning the subject basic electrical engineering and the subject code is 3110005, right. Let's start the new chapter that we define as a transformer where important topics we need to understand in this particular chapter. We are going to discuss about the magnetic materials and BH curve. Then we are going to discuss about the transformer and their constructions, the working of transformer and EFM equation derived from the transformer, then ideal transformer and practical transformer, then three-phase transformers, and lastly the auto transformer. Now to understand the transformer, we have to learn about the components are being used in a transformer. So one of the basic component in transformer is called a magnet, right. So first try to learn about the magnet, the basic part of the transformer. So as part of our definition, let's say if we talk about the magnet, then magnet is nothing but any object that attracts iron and which when freely suspended points towards poles of earth is called a magnet. So we all know about the magnet, but the property of magnet is defined as a magnetism. So it is nothing but the power by which a magnet attracts substances is called magnetism. So it is nothing but one of the property of magnet, that it provides a magnetism. It is nothing but the property of the magnet to attract the substances, and all those substances we define as a magnetic material. Look for all those substances where we define as a kind of magnet has total two poles. One is towards the north pole of the earth and another towards the south pole of the earth. So any magnet has two poles. One pole is called north pole and another pole is called the south pole, right. Now based on this property, permeability. Now this permeability is nothing but a property of magnet that has the capacity to produce magnetic flux through it. So this is a one kind of property to become a magnet, right. So based on this permeability, if all the materials do not allow a magnetic flux to be produced through them, so iron, steel, all allow magnetic flux to be produced them very easily, and this property of materials to allow magnetic flux to be produced through, then it is defined as a permeability. So here we always define in terms of the permeability, which is called a relative permeability of air or vacuum is the poorest conductor of magnetic flux. So here we define permeability as a mu. So here mu 0 is equal to 4 pi into 10 is to minus 7 Henry per meter. Right. So with this respect, if we find the relative permeability, where relative permeability mu r is equal to mu divided by mu 0. Right. So why mu 0? Mu 0 is the permeability or which is the poorest magnetic material, which has a less capacity to produce magnetic flux. Right. So permeability is nothing but the property of the magnetic material to become magnet fast, and this must be required to generate or to design a magnetic circuit. Right. Now let's further discuss about the property of this magnetic material. Three types of magnetic material. One of the material we define as a ferromagnetic material. Now this ferromagnetic material here, the material whose relative permeability is very high, which is from 100 to 1 lakh, is called the ferromagnetic material, like iron, steel, nickel, cobalt. Those who have a very sensitive to become magnet fast, those material we define as a ferromagnetic material. Then we have a paramagnetic material where its relative permeability is between 1 to 10. Right. So this is a medium level magnetic material. So platinum, manganese, aluminum, these are the materials who are magnet but not the strongly affected magnet. Same way the diamagnetic material, which has a relative permeability which is less than 1, like copper, gold, those are the diamagnetic materials. So we are not using those diamagnetic material as a part of the magnet or in a magnetic circuit. If you understand further the relation of B versus H. Now what is B? B is nothing but the magnetic flux density and H is nothing but the magnetic flux intensity. Magnetic circuit, once you apply the AC signal, there is a current which is flowing through the inductor, and that inductor will produce a magnetic flux around it, and that magnetic flux divided by unit area, if you find, that becomes the magnetic flux density. Now whatever AC signal you have applied, and that will generate a magnetic flux or magnetic field intensity, which is defined as H. So here, once you find the relation of B and H, it is proportional to each other. So here from this, B is proportional to H, where B by H is equal to constant, and that constant we define as a mu. So here B is equal to mu into H. So B is equal to mu 0 into mu R into H, right? Now this relation you can straight away see here is the linear relation, where B is equal to mu 0 into H if the value of mu R is equal to 1, right? So this is what the relation of B and H. So in our today's session, we are going to discuss about the relation of B versus H for any magnetic material, right? Now, if you apply the AC signal, that will create a magnetic field intensity around the magnetic circuit, and based on this magnetic field intensity, how the magnetic flux density is going to be changed, how the magnetic flux density is going to be behave, that we need to check, right? So it is nothing but behavior of magnetic flux which is produced in a magnetic circuit with the unit area, that today we are going to check. And this particular property we are going to use to design transformer, motors, generators, and many devices, right? So here we further look of the definition of hysteresis loop or hysteresis curve. This we define as a BH curve, right? So let's discuss the definition of BH curve. The relation between magnetic field strength H and the flux density B for particular magnetic material drawn on the graph of the complete one cycle is known as hysteresis loop or hysteresis curve, right? So here BH curve is defined as relationship of B and H for a complete full cycle, right? Now let us describe this terminology here in terms of the animation. You can see this is a kind of ferromagnetic material, and we have applied the AC signal in series with the resistance. Now here the coil is wound over it, and this becomes a perfect magnetic material where our job is to apply AC signal. So in this, once you apply the current in this coil, you can see here there is a generation of magnetic flux, that is a red line here. So here there is a generation of magnetic flux around this magnet, and this particular flux is now going to be changed when you increase the AC signal. Once you vary the AC signal, that depends, the magnetic flux intensity is going to be changed. So once you are going to vary the magnetic field intensity H, what should be the behavior of, or what should be the variation in magnetic flux per unit area, or what should be the variation in magnetic flux density, that we can easily see from this particular circuit. We are going to apply a sinusoidal signal, which is a AC signal in this particular waveform. So you can see one of the x-axis is defined as a magnetic field strength H, and y-axis defined as a magnetic flux density. Once you apply the on 1/4 of the cycle, you can see here from O to D, right, where the value of current becomes maximum, right? So once the value of current becomes maximum, that means at particular point D, the field intensity is maximum at this particular fixed field intensity. So you are increasing your signal from 0 to the maximum value of this current level. You can see here there is a increase in a flux density B, right? So once here I have applied a magnetic field strength H, I am going to increase, and that will for a first 1/4 cycle, then it will reach from O to level D. So here as such the relation of B and H, it is a linear. So if I am going to increase the value of H, see according to that flux density B also increases, but at up to only point D. Now even further from point D, I am going to further increase the magnetic field strength. Still there is no change in magnetic flux density. Why? Because this particular point D is called the saturation for a magnetic field density, right? So at this particular point, you can see here from D to the signal is coming down to level 0, where the AC signal becomes 0. So from AC signal becomes 0, you can straight away see the AC signal becomes 0, but the flux density is never going to be 0. Is still there is some residual flux is available in this magnetic circuit, in this particular magnet, and that remaining flux is defined as a residual flux from you can see from this line D to E, right? Now, how I can make this residual flux to 0? In opposite direction, I have to apply AC signal. So in opposite direction, I have to apply the force, which is a magnetic field strength. And once you apply in opposite direction, as part of E to F, you can see here, the density becomes 0, right? The density becomes 0. For that, I have to apply a force in a negative direction, in a reverse direction. That means this particular terminology we define as a coercive force, where the value of flux density becomes 0, but the magnetic field strength in a negative direction. Further, I am going to increase the magnetic field strength in a negative direction. Again, the flux density will be developed in a negative direction and it will reach to the maximum level. So you can see from F to G, where again at particular G the flux density becomes saturated at point G, where even you further the increase the value of magnetic field strength in reverse direction, in negative direction, still there is no change in a flux density, right? So again I am going to take here the signal which is coming towards the 0, and once the signal is now coming towards the 0, that means field intensity becomes 0, but still there is a residual magnetic flux remaining in a magnetic circuit, and that we define as from G to I. The gap from O to I is defined as a residual flux, right? Now again that part I want to make it 0. So to become the magnetic flux or density becomes 0, I have to apply magnetic strength in a positive direction, and that particular extra force I have to apply, and that extra force in a reverse direction is defined as a coercive force, right? Now I'm completely finishing the full one cycle from J to D. You can see here there is a generation of loop, and that particular loop we define as a hysteresis loop. So you can see we have applied the AC signal, the complete cycle you can see from O to D, D to E, E to F, F to G, G to I to J, and J to again D. The complete full cycle is defined as you can see the arrow here for the first positive 1/4 half cycle, that is you always get from 0 to D, and from D to E, right? Then E to F, F to G, G to I to J, and J to F. This loop is defined as a BH curve, or this particular loop we define as a hysteresis loop, right? So always for a 1/4 half cycle you will get 0 to D, and then your complete circuit operation will be moving from D to E, E to F, F to G, G to I to J, J to D, and again from D to E. This particular motion is continuously moving like this way. Operation is continuous. So that's why it is considered as a hysteresis loop, right? Now we further discuss about the two most important definition here, that one of the definition we define as the residual flux, and that residual flux is, in another sense, it is defined as a retentivity or remittance. This is nothing but even the force becomes the magnetic field becomes magnetic field strength becomes 0, still there is some magnetic flux available in a magnetic circuit, that is defined as a residual flux. As well as to make it this residual flux 0, we have to apply extra force in a reverse direction, and that reverse direction extra force we define as a coercive force, or that in common terminology is defined as a coercitivity, right? So this is all about the BH curve and related terms. Now this is what the important terminology of magnet, and that we'll be using to construct the transformer, right? Thank you very much, dear students. If you have find any difficulty, please write in a comment box. Thank you very much.